Good morning, guys. So I just did a quick drive with Con in the C300 and we had a little bit of chat. Let's just put this here. That car is way more enjoyable to drive than this car. Okay. This is the B8 platform Audi S4 and I have to fight all the way up here. Okay, it has the traction, it has the power, but at the end of the day, it is still a previous generation Audi. It's very different from the new ones that are agile, very athletic. This one is not. Okay, this one is very stable, very comfortable, high-speed cruising. But when you want to do winding roads, I mean, the car can do it in a way, but it's very counterintuitive. I'm gonna go into that later. So I'm just gonna say it now. Okay, this car is front heavy, right? So when you corner, it wants to push out, but mine has the sport differential. So what the sport differential does is that at a certain threshold, it will push power to the outer wheels to dial the car in. But before you reach that, your car is pushing outwards, and your immediate reaction will be to lift off the throttle so that you can wind the car back in because it's gonna push out, right? But to activate the sport differential, you need to throttle when you are easing out, which is extremely counterintuitive for the power to be sent to the outer wheels and roll you back in. So most people, before they even reach that, they would have panicked, step on the brakes, screw up the whole balance, and then end up in the drain. All right, so this is a 2009 car. Okay, the first batch, the first generation of Audi supercharged 3-liter engine. Now this 3-liter supercharged engine for me is a triumph for Audi. It's their first time making a 3-liter supercharged engine, and they got it right at the first go. Okay, making 333 horsepower, 440 newton meters of torque. When it's standard, this engine is in the S4. It replaces the 4.2 V8, the low-tuned 4.2 V8 in the S5. It is in the Audi A7. It is also in the SQ5. And then it, where else they apply this? The Audi A6 3-liter, and then the A8 3-liter T. They call it T, but it's actually supercharged. All right, it's widely used in the Audi premium range, and it's a fantastic engine. It's responsive, it's characterful. It makes a very nice engine sound. It's torquey, it's immediate. So I love this engine. And when it's paired to this 7-speed dual clutch, wet clutch, it's lovely. All right, this car still is very, very beautiful. Shout out to WRC Lighting. That day I went to Sunway and then I just saw this shop and then I went in there because one of my bulbs burned away, and then they got it done. They replaced 2 bulbs for me and then changed and then cleaned up my lens, so now it looks brand new. And I think they very reasonable prices. I didn't haggle with them, and they don't know at first. They do not know. I mean, halfway through when I go and collect my car, and then they are like, "Are you Bobby Young?" You know. So no deals from there. All right. It's not like I'm out there. Hey, why don't I do a video? And then you give me free? No, not that nonsense. Look at all these traces. You know what happened to the car, right? This is the sign of the tires being pushed outwards, right? The road scraping against the tire this direction. So this car sends a lot of load to the front wheels. Okay, it sends a lot of it. So that's understeer for you. See the V6T badge over here. Now, how to differentiate an A4 and an S4 or an A5 and an S5? The S models have this aluminium wing mirror, this housing, all right, and this is gloss chrome, gloss finish. In the RS4 it will be matte finish. Same thing, RS4, these will be matte finish. Okay, very, very subtle, very nice. So I fell in love with this car when I first came into this industry. I was downloading the official pictures from Audi, I remember back in 2009, and then I saw the press pictures of this. I'm like, oh my god, I'm falling in love with this car, man. Just love the way it looks. And 3 years later, I'm lucky enough to own it. Alright, lovely, lovely. So what has gone wrong with this car over the years? Not a lot, to be honest, not a lot, okay? I just love the design of this car. It is the first car that made every single car out there got themselves some daytime running lights. You know, Audi was the one that started making all these internal designs into the headlamp, and it captivated everybody. Everybody loved the design, and then they just copied. Okay, and I think the ergonomics of this car is fantastic as well. When this car came out, it is the largest in class by far. Okay, the wheelbase is 2.8 meters. Okay, the S4 wheelbase is slightly longer than the A4 wheelbase. Very, very slightly. I think 1 cm or something like that. Okay, so even though everyone says that Audi has the engine up front, but you can see the wheels are here. So technically speaking, this engine is not as upfront as the older Audis, you know, but it still is. Okay, it sits on top of the front axle, not behind like BMWs. Okay, and the interior. Back in 2008, 2009, when this interior came out, going against the older Mercedes or BMW, it's just no challenge. Okay, comes with Bang & Olufsen sound system, but it's not really good. Okay, the bass sound system in the G20 beats this by far. Okay, and the plastics feel so good to the touch. You know, these are really high quality plastics, and then the inserts. You know, this entire thing is done in metal. It's not some plastic chrome or whatever, and it's really nice. The ergonomics of this car, I love it. And then you see how Audi mold their door bins, full length door bins all the way to the back. You can put a large bottle over here. Lovely. You don't get the compartment here, so I can't fist the car. The new ones do. Now, one part that I don't really like in this generation Audi is that they try to give the dashboard a bit of a mix match of color. Right, back then it's all dark, it's all plastic. Everybody is just plastic or wood or something. They put some silver color plastics here. It looks good on paper, but when you tap it, extremely plasticky. Okay, they changed this in the facelift. The facelift, right? The construction of this part has been changed, and you get some gloss black here. It looks better. Okay, so these are the old generation screens where I told you guys you need a cowl. You need to mold a cowl around it so that hide it from sunlight so that you get the legibility. Alright, lovely Quattro badge here. Beautiful interior. It's a nice, pretty interior. Look at it. Right, S4 seats. Now these seats, even though we always say that Volvo seats are very, very comfortable, this one is very comparable. Okay, it's extremely comfortable, extremely ergonomic, and I can sit for a long time in this. I can't even sit for 2 hours in my BMW without a backache, but this one I can sit here for hours long. Okay, everything still works. Everything just is so solid. The construction of the interior is so solid, and Audi rarely have any electrical problems, right? The window switches, the wipers, every single thing, the radio, the buttons, everything in the car works since day one. Has been 10 years ever since. Everything works. Every single thing works. Okay. Some of the things that I've changed in this car is lovely analog dials. Some of the things I've changed are some sensors, and then in 2014 my clutch had to be replaced, and that was a big job, you know, because partly because that is expensive, partly because I went to a workshop that pretty much upcharged quite a bit. All right, look at the lovely pedals over there. All right, very nice. Just love this interior. Remember I mentioned about Audi not having click lock armrests, right? It makes the sound since day one. All right, and this is pretty ergonomic compared to the new ones. All right, then when you come to the back, back then this is spacious. Now I would say it's just moderate comparatively speaking. Okay, the F30 is more spacious than this car. And this one are those whereby, you know, at a certain point, the European came up with those regulation where it requires your backrest to have whiplash protection. So when you sit here, this thing is gonna be at the back of your neck. So very naturally, you would want to push this up so that you get a comfortable rest, and this was your whiplash protection. Okay, so that's how they designed it back then. It's ergonomic, it's comfortable, and yeah, my hair is brushing a little bit against the headliner because this car is 10 years old and the headliner has started drooping down. So look at the rear, the boot, you have the tonneau cover, you have all these things there to move around, arrange your luggage. Now this boot isn't big for a wagon, it's by no means a spacious wagon. Okay, it's pretty tight, pretty small. I don't think it's even as spacious as a Camry's boot. Okay, but it's a wagon, right? You can drop the seats down and you can stuff your washing machine in. So, yep, I have Goodyear Eagle F1s on them, and yep, that's my 10-year-old Audi S4. Ever since 2014 until now, these past 5 years, after I did my major service, I did my bushing, I did my the clutch. Remember, 2014 is 5-year-old. That's when the thing's starting to expire. So 2014 I had my big service, big job, and then from 2014 until now, oil change. That's it. So if you're buying an S4, S5, go for it. You know, it's a fantastic car. Cheers.